VO2 Max Testing. So today we're going to run through first the calibration of the metabolic cart for an exercise test. It's a little bit different from the resting metabolic rate test that we did a couple labs ago. We'll then talk about how to build the face mask that we use for this test. Then we'll go over the protocol, and then I'm going to jump on as the subject and we'll run through the test completely. So first, with the metabolic cart, this one only has exercising software on it. So I'm going to open up the True 1 icon. We're going to do the gas calibration similar to how we did it for the resting metabolic rate test a couple labs ago. So I need to again put in the information about the environmental conditions. So we're 23 degrees Celsius, barometric pressure is 744 millimeters of mercury approximately, humidity is 65%. Okay, so once we have that, we'll click OK. Open up the calibration gas tank. Hit OK. Again, it's going to take around 15 to 30 seconds as it samples the room air, compares it to what is in the calibration tank, and then from there, the calculations are adjusted based upon the current room conditions. Now, I did just do this minutes ago, so there should be a very minimal change compared to what we saw last time, so I probably will just do it once. Usually we do the gas calibration 2 times in a row to make sure the numbers are consistent from the first saving to the second. Turn off the gas calibration tank. Hit OK, and minimal difference, only 0.1%, 0.2%, and again, that's because I just calibrated it once about 10 or 15 minutes ago. Okay, so that's good. We'll hit save. Now we're going to calibrate the flow meter using the same 3-liter syringe. We're going to do this a little bit differently for exercising. With resting, remember, we tried to have 5 consistent, very small volume, slow speed pumps, because that's the way somebody breathes during a resting metabolic rate test. During a graded exercise test, as the test intensity increases, the person is going to be breathing larger volumes of air and breathing with more force. So the volume of air will get progressively larger during the test. So when we calibrate the flow meter, we want to calibrate it in a similar fashion. So I want to do 5 pumps again to flush it, and then I'm going to do 5 to simulate what happens during testing. Each of those 5 is going to get progressively faster to simulate what occurs with breathing during exercise. Okay, so check my numbers again. They look good. In terms of the environment, we're going to sample the baseline. So I'm going to do my 5 flushes. Now notice on this one there are 5 different light blue bars. Those really represent the guide for me in terms of the forcefulness of the flush I'm going to perform. So here's the first one. It needs to be very low. It needs to ideally not go above this first blue bar. And this would simulate the breathing that would occur right at the beginning of the test. Okay, that one's good. So that line disappears. The next one's going to be a little bit faster. I'm going to try to eliminate that next blue bar. Touched it, should go away. Pump number 3, just a little bit faster now to eliminate that 3rd bar. Ooh, barely got it. 4th pump. Got that one. The last one I can just hit a home run, push it as fast as I can, and nailed it. So ideally what we want to see is a nice linear increase and then it leveled off. My volume, I want to be around 3 liters to simulate it. I got all of the air out of this 3-liter syringe. Okay, so the flow meter calibration looks great. We're going to save that. And we'll come back and start the metabolic test momentarily. First, I want to show you all what the face mask is going to look like. Give me 1 second. So this is a completed face mask. Obviously, the subject's mouth is going to go around this piece. The tube is clear. We say clear to clear, so we're going to connect the tube to this side. Okay, that's going to be for expired gases. And then The room air is going to come in through the white side. So this side is going to be open to the environment. We're going to inspire from the room. Air is going to go into our lungs. Then we expire. It's going to go out of the clear side into the gas analyzer to take our measurements. Okay. This thing at the bottom is to collect saliva because it's kind of hard to swallow when you're doing this test. So that's what this tube exists for. Okay. Then the top, we just put this on to close off the airflow. So what I'm actually going to do is build one so you all can see exactly how it works. So step over here with me. So I have my pieces disassembled. What you all couldn't see were the valves that we use to control the direction of flow. And then these are the frames that the valves are built around. So I'm going to go ahead and just assemble the valves on the frames now. You want to make sure that the valve itself is flush against the side of the frame so it fits in the face mask properly. Okay. Go ahead and assemble my second one. So I have my body. This is what everything is going to attach to here. Okay. Then I have my clear side. I want air to flow into the metabolic cart. So I'm going to take my one-way valve, make sure if I push it down, the valve opens. I'm going to drop that face down into the clear side. Okay. Now I need to look at how my metabolic cart is positioned relative to my treadmill. In this case, the treadmill is on the left side of the metabolic cart, so I want the clear side to be on the left side of the body. Now if you look at the clear valve, this is going to screw into the body. So here, I'm going to screw that in, not over tighten it, but get it nice and snug. Just push my finger through to make sure my airflow is going the right direction. So I know that I want my valve to be this way. So I'm going to take my saliva tube and go ahead and install it on the bottom. I can install this on either side depending upon which way I want the valve oriented. This is the way I want it to be. So I'm going to put the spit tube on now so I know which way it's positioned. I can go ahead and put the cap then on the top hole. Okay, now I'm going to take my second valve. I'm going to drop it right in the top. Again, from this side I want airflow coming in. So if I push in, it's going to allow air in. I'm then going to take my white piece, this white piece, screw it right on the top. Make sure I don't strip it. Make sure it's snug. Again, I can just double check my airflow so air's coming in this side, going out this side. Okay. Then I have my other white piece. This is smaller. This is what the mouthpiece is going to attach to. So I'm going to screw this on the front. And then I have my mouthpiece that the subject will put in their mouth. This is just going to slide right on top of that small white piece. You want to be careful not to touch this because the person will have their mouth on it, obviously. In this case, I'm the one who's going to put it in my mouth, so the fact that I'm touching is not a big deal. It doesn't have to be all the way snug against the valve, but it needs to be relatively even. Then you want to also make sure it's level, so it's going to be comfortable for the subject as they have it in their mouth. Okay. So this is built. We have